Hey everybody, sun's out, palms out, but not in here. This is my office where I grow my indoor species. I'll give you a quick introduction to those now. So just here in the atrium at work, I keep these guys actually in my office, but I took them out here so you could see them in the light. This Rivinia Variegata is variegated, and I keep my other ones outside in the summertime, but this guy is so delicate that I don't want to scorch him like my other ones got scorched. And I want to keep him looking really nice. And I'm giving him a little bit more attention actually than my other Riviera's, just so I can keep the variegation on it, because if he is not exposed to light, I have a grow light on right now. If he's not exposed to light, they're gonna get rid of their white variegation, and they'll start to put out green leaves to save the plant, because all this white stuff has no chlorophyll and no ability to do all of the functions that this leaf would do. So this technically isn't healthy, but it's very beautiful for sure. To keep the white on here and keep new spears having white, I gotta make sure that he's not lacking in any light. So I have grow light on him specifically. I run water through it every day with a drip tray underneath, and my same mix of cocoa coir, pine bark chunks, and perlite. Pretty small right now, but he's growing, and I don't know if I can kind of get. So this is the new spear right here. I have two Riviera's here in the pot. The bigger one here is not the variegated one. This little guy is. So he's one I am focusing on and making sure stays healthy. This new frond has no white streaks on the petiole and the rachis yet, so I'm not seeing any variegation just yet getting there. As you can kind of see with the other spears, you have a huge white line that goes up, and then that hits the leaves. Like on this one right here, these two white lines right here will go all the way up, and that'll affect the leaves. So maybe some of the bottom leaves on this new spear over here will have some white on it, but this, even if that doesn't, and that whole spear is green, this one here has a ton of variegation on it already, I can tell. So this is gonna be great, that new spear. Love it, love it, love it. Anyways, he doesn't go outside, he just stays in the office, and I'll hopefully get some more updated videos on any new variegation on the leaves, because it is beautiful and you just don't see that very often. This is not genetically manipulated or anything. This is like a Costa Farms, one of a billion, 10-inch majesty palms that they throw out there across North America for sale in the summertime. Nothing special about it other than the fact that it was variegated, and I managed to buy it off someone who bought it, just on chance from like a big box store. So really lucky. Moving next, we have Camadoria Metallica. Which looks really different from all of the other Camadoria species. There are a couple that have these, just these kind of like two leaves on each frond. But this is the one that you see kind of the most often. There's 3 of them in the pot here. Just like the other Camadorias, they are extremely low light. They will scorch, and if they're exposed to sun, this particular one will get more green and less metallic, as it's kind of named for, Camadoria Metallica. So it'll get almost black and some silver in it and stuff like that if I keep it in really, really low light. So actually I want to try and do that to see what happens. With 3 being in the pot here, these all the Camadorias are monoecious, which means that I might not even have pronounced that correctly, but that means that each plant is either a male or a female. It's not both, so it won't put out male and female inflorescence to be able to pollinate each other and produce seed. I need a female plant and I need a male plant to do that. So this guy right here, this big guy at the back, this guy right there, he put out, well, she put out her female inflorescence already. I don't know if you can, if I can get kind of close up. You can kind of see the, before they fall off, all of the pollen on there. Now, of course, there's nothing to pollinate it. No male inflorescence on either of these guys here. This inflorescence will die. If I got some male and they both come out at the same time, I might be able to get some seeds. I have no idea, but he'll grow really slowly. You take years and years to get like, you know, a 3 or 4 foot trunk, but I can't wait. I love this guy. He comes with me on some of my installs here at the building when I move from room to room. He's so small that I'll just put him on a cart and bring him with me because he's nice to look at and brings me a lot of happiness. So, yeah, triple Camadoria Metallica. Next is one of my earliest palms that I got. One of my pride and joy here, my Rafus XLSA. It's another low light palm. It is endemic to Asia and grows in understories and stuff like that. It's a suckering clumping palm, so the mother trunks will put out new shoots, new suckers, and you could potentially propagate those, I guess, if you cut them off carefully and see if they have a chance to root. But I've never tried it. I do have some little suckers that you can see. They actually died really fast. The rest of the plant's doing good, but here's a sucker coming off of this guy. I don't know if you can kind of see in the light. The light might be kind of blocking it, but if I can get it in focus, the leaves are died really, really quickly. These fronds, these tiny little fronds on this tiny little suckering palm died really quickly, but the rest are doing good. Some of the suckers are coming out there. They're getting a little bit bigger. Here's one that's actually not dwarfed or anything like that. It's actually growing full-size leaves. So this one will develop into the same length as the other ones, hopefully. But really beautiful. It's not, I haven't had to deal with any pest problems because the leaflets are so thick that I get mites on every other one of my palms except for this guy. So really great, very low maintenance, does not need the leaching of the water that all my other ones do. It likes filtered water better than tap water with salts and other minerals and things like that. It will definitely get more brown tipping quicker than my other palms. They'll all get brown tipping if you have salt buildup in your soil, but this one specifically is a little bit more sensitive. I don't know if I can see, so I've cut it off, but I mean it's really it can get really ugly really fast. A lot quicker than the other ones, but again, it would scorch in full sun if I brought it outside like with my other palms. So it stays in my office all year round, and I get lots of compliments on it. It looks beautiful, very stately, and yeah, one of my easily in my top 5 of my palms that I have. It's just a shame I don't, I could take it home, but I enjoy having it in the background of my Zoom pictures when I'm doing video conferencing. So that's where I like to keep it, and it brings me joy every day when I come to the office and see it. Last office species here is one that I could keep at home and one that I could actually keep in outside with the rest of my palms, because I already have a Dipsis lutescens, a huge 14-inch clumping one. It's a bunch of different stalks, but this Dipsis lutescens, this areca, was separated from a large clump back in February, right in the dead of winter. I took the clump out. I tried to separate the roots as carefully as I could, and I saved this guy because he was the biggest, and I wanted to have a solitary trunking palm. They're often, I mean, the other one that I have at the house, they're often sold as like clumps where people dump a bunch of seeds randomly and try and get them to germinate, and then that's what you have. I mean, it builds up the plant. It doesn't make it look wispy anymore, but most people figure that people don't want to have a single solitary, trunking areca palm like this. But I love the way these dipsistessens look like that, and I decided to do that. Now the only thing was, I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 fronds, and this spear was really, really tiny back in February. It was just peeking out here, the spear. When I separated it and repotted it, almost immediately it went into full shock, which I was expecting it to do, but go into a little bit of shock, but not the extent that it did. All of the existing huge fronds that I had here very, very quickly died. And I was about to throw this whole guy out. I cut off the fronds, and I left this stick in this pot and put it in my office and didn't even think about it. Honestly, I would have thrown it out, but I'm glad I didn't, because I don't know if you can see, probably about 2 months ago, so that right now is June, that would have been April-ish. So 2 months after it went into shock in the middle of February. In the middle of April, it decided to start growing again. So obviously it needed that time to establish the root system, its own root system, away from the other ones, in its own pot, and maybe potentially killed the other fronds to be able to do that. So I've lost them all except for this guy now, but 2 months ago he started to take off incredibly. I don't know if you can see in the light here, but I marked down here on the old frond right there with black Sharpie, and I marked there 2 months ago with that on the new spear with black Sharpie, and I already have almost 3 inches of growth in 2 months. So he is shooting up. He's gonna open, and I'm gonna get more fronds, and he's alive. Back from the dead. Back from the dead, that's what I like to say. I'm glad I saved it, because I thought it was dead for sure, and I was gonna throw it out, but I didn't. Anyways, guys, thanks for sticking around for my last introduction video. Next videos are going to be all singular, focused on each individual species, their history and cultivation, and how I best care for it indoors 9 months of the year, and then potentially take outside for 3 months. So thanks for the introductions, everybody, and sun's out, palms out, except when they're in the office. Thanks, guys. Bye.